it's Vesper Starwolf as Morningstar, here with another video. And this is going to be a Tales from Indie FurCon 2021. I know it's been a few months, but I've been super busy working on other projects. And there was this situation where I actually recorded a vlog style video to take place of my Tales from videos, but I'm not necessarily comfortable with vlogging in that style. I don't know, just hanging out with my friends feels really personal to me, so I just didn't want to upload that video. If I did more fursuiting, more recording, I would have, but honestly by the second day I kind of forgot to record anything. So it was just a bunch of mangled, strangled clips, and I just wasn't feeling it. So yeah. So I'll just talk about what went down at the con. It was fun, but it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to get back into the groove of things. What with the virus? Me and my friends did all take precautions, of course. Me, especially, I take the pandemic very seriously. I am fully vaccinated. And up until I got a job at, in the middle of the pandemic, I didn't leave my house, at all. Even though I'm vaccinated, I always wear my mask. Even with the fursuit on, I wear my mask. And personally, I'm still uncomfortable in public situations, but I don't put myself in situations where I'm around others too much. So if a crowd was large, I kind of avoided it. I only approach people really for pictures because I really only like hanging out with my friends at conventions, people I already know. I'm not the kind of person that goes up to strangers and wants to just kind of hang out with them unless I know them. So there's that. So we left on Thursday, and the trip, it wasn't anything special. It was just a normal road trip on the way there. We got there yet again. Scooter, shut up. My dog is crying. Yet again, we get to the hotel. We couldn't get in the main building, and I was worried about staying in the sister hotel. But it's literally one walkway apart. I thought we had to go through a whole parking lot, but it's just a little... You walk out the door of our hotel, you go a couple feet, and then there's another building. And where the con floor space is, you go in there, and it's fine. You're in the con. So that was fine. But yet again, we get there, and the hotel, we have problems checking in again because they don't tell you. Here's something about IFC if you ever want to go there, and if it's in the same hotel, which is the Marriott, I think, the Delta or whatever. You go there, and they don't warn you when you reserve a room, but when you get there, they tell you there's an extra charge. You have, for insurance damages, you get it back after the weekend, because it's basically to make sure you don't damage your room, which is fine, but not when you're on a tight budget for a convention and you did not know about this price. And at first we were freaking out because we didn't know if... At first someone told us that they all had to be on one card. Our hotel money was on a credit card, And I don't think we could put more cash into the card because it would take like a couple days for that to register, and we couldn't take money out of the card. So we thought we were just absolutely screwed. But while we were in the parking lot freaking out, wondering if we should find another hotel to stay at, the manager or whatever of the one we were staying in came out, and he's like, oh, you guys don't need it to be on the same card, it can be on different ones. So we went in, got checked in, and it was fine. But again, it was a mess. But we got to our room. I do not like the IFC hotel at all. They don't even have a microwave, and the rooms are kind of small and dingy, at least the one we were stuck in. And they have those, like, the doors are like sliding barn doors. So they don't lock, like the bathroom door doesn't lock. And we just kind of had to, like, sometimes it just slides open and it's like, look away. So I don't really like that. But we got everything settled. Then we were like, okay, it was Thursday. The con hadn't officially started. So we're like, let's check out the con floor space. So we walked down and we went all the way to the main room of the con floor space, the like open area. If you've been there, you know what I mean, and we already saw people standing around in fursuits, and we're just like, well, let's go back and get suited up. Because we were going to wait till the next day, but since people were already suiting, we decided to just toss on our stuff and head out, because I was itching to fursuit, because this was Morningstar, this fursuit. This was his first con, so this was like his debut. And I was so excited to wear him out. Yeah, I didn't take Vesper, because like I said, she's retired from conventions now. So I'm only going to be wearing Morningstar to cons. And until I get like a new fursuit in the far off future probably. But so yeah, we went through again just in suit this time, taking pictures, and we went to we got to the floor space. Immediately someone ran up to me and yelled, "Hail Satan!" So I'm glad I look like the devil. Could have also been my edgy fanny pack, but so not much went down at the con. I explained everything I got in my haul video and the stories behind those. I commissioned a badge from Please Feed the Bear. There was a lot of log lines for the events, limited seating too. We watched the Floor Wars and the dance comp, which I didn't know they were having either of those, but they ended up having them. My friend Elliot placed like second place in Floor Wars, so that was really cool, seeing him compete. The only panel me and my friend went to was the wand making panel. And there's other panels I want to go to, but like every year I plan to go to these panels and I never do because I don't feel like it. Yeah. The con itself wasn't particularly exciting, so not like a lot happened. I can't really remember a lot of stuff that went down. It's just a normal con. We went to the rave at night, got down and funky. Me and Ree kind of just hung out the entire weekend. We ran into this dude that was also dressed really edgy like us. I think he invited us to play a tabletop game, and also for the furry escape room. We didn't go because that's a stranger. And it's not really our scene to hang out with people. Like, we never even really stayed out on the con floor space for too long. A lot of like in the evenings, we didn't like stay out all night. We just kind of returned to our room, and Elliot's super into Centaur World, so we basically binge watched the entirety of Centaur World over the weekend, which was awesome. I actually really like that show now. And when I got home, I like rewatched it so I could kind of absorb more of it, because I wasn't paying complete attention to it. And you know, I dozed off in a couple parts, I think. But that was super fun. Speaking of dressing edgy, what I did like about this con is, I will say I went through a lot of changes over the lockdown, and I don't feel like the same person that I was in the past couple of years. Back in 2019, which is when I started going to my first conventions, and of course it was immediately ripped from me when 2020 hit. But I'm a far different person than I was back then. IFC21 felt like the first time that I could actually wear what I wanted and express myself how I wanted to. Out of suit, of course. But in suit, it also felt very natural, kind of in your face like Morningstar is. So that was actually very lovely. We played games with some of our friends in the game room, and we went to another one of our friend Quasar, his room. They also had a mix-up, and they gave them like a really big fancy suite. But it was next to the rave, so at night they would just hear, you know, the rave music. So there was that. But we actually filmed a couple TikToks in that room because it was big and had enough space for us, and that was fun. And I mentioned on the way there we stopped at the mall. I had the best dang pizza pretzel that I've ever had. When we were leaving, we stopped at the mall again, and I got one without pepperoni, and that was a lot better. The sauce with it was so dang good because it added a nice spice, and I love me some spicy food. We went to a cookie shop at the mall. We tried going to shops that we don't have where we live, but our malls suck anyway, so it was nice going to a mall that actually had people in it and like stores. We went into Spencer's. It was my friend's first time. They weren't aware of what kind of adult things Spencer has, and they were looking at lava lamps turned and saw them and was like, oh no. And I was like, no, I should have warned her, but I did not. I apologize. So, on the way out, you know, everything was normal. The drive from where we all live to IFC is only about 4 hours. It's only about 4 hours, right? We were about 2 hours away from home on the return trip when our tire blew out. So we had to pull over on the side of the highway and figure out what to do. Elliot, whose car we were taking, had roadside assistance, but that doesn't mean they give you roadside assistance. Because we thought maybe they could bring us a spare tire because we didn't have one, but they said they could only tow it, but they don't also offer like a ride if you need it. So, one of us could ride in the tow truck and go with them, but the rest of us, there was 4 in total, would be stuck on the side of the road. And we had no clue what the heck to do. We were 10 minutes away from the nearest town, luckily, because if we were further, it would have been even worse, I feel. So, we called up Elliot's mother, and she came she drove to come help us. So but like I said, we were 2 hours away from home, so we had to wait in the vehicle for 2 hours for her to drive and to us. And when she got there 2 hours later, maybe a little after 2 hours, we grabbed the fursuits and stuff that we couldn't just leave on the side of the road and put it in the back of his mother's truck. Then we drove to the nearest town, 10 minutes away. Went to Walmart so they could get a jack to get the tire off. His mom dropped us off at the Golden Corral to eat dinner. I wasn't even super hungry because it was so hot. This was like in August. It was so hot and I just felt drained and sick at this point because we were waiting in the car for so long. So then his mother drove back to the car to get the tire and then drove to like the town again to show the tire to like the car place so they could get a spare. But while we were waiting, we ate at the Golden Corral because we didn't want to we were tired. We didn't want to go back and forth with his mom, so we just waited, got dropped off and waited. And at the Golden Corral, I was still dressed up in my expressive self. I was wearing that shirt that I got that said "Worship Satan, not politicians," the one I got at the con, and I wasn't wearing the cloak because it was hot, but my fanny pack that's really edgy, necklaces and a choker, and this lady looks at me and my friends. She turns to her husband and she's like, "See, I was telling you about this." We got lots of stares at the Golden Corral, but I was really living for it. Your fear of me only fuels me, Golden Corral patrons. After the Golden Corral, we walked back to Walmart because his mom wanted to get a new jack, the thing that lifts up the car. I guess that's a jack. The thing she got before was just like a wrench, yeah. So we walked to the Walmart to get a jack, and then she picked us up from the Walmart because the one they had was high enough to get the old tire off, but not to get the new one on. So we got the new jack. And it was getting dark by this point. So we drove back, all the way back to the car, 10 minutes away. And they changed out the tire. We put all our stuff back in the vehicle, hopped back in, started driving. Oh, and waiting. While we were waiting for them to change the tire out, Venus was overhead, which, if you guys don't know, Venus is the evening star, and the Morning Star. So, things were looking up. The car ride was an interesting one. I won't get into that. I felt a shell of my former self by this point. I was super tired. There's some weird stuff going on in that car. In my mental space. By the time we reached, like, our home region, I felt gone. I was just like, I had to work in the morning. So, we got home around like 11, 12 at night when we left at like 11 a.m. So this 4-hour car ride turned into a 10-hour car ride. Because even when we got the tire back on and it was dark then, we still had to drive 2 hours home. It was a nightmare. Kind of an interesting experience though. So IFC was an interesting weekend. I'm sorry that I didn't really talk about a whole lot of furry stuff, but I don't know. Honestly, I really just go to cons because I do really love fursuiting, and it's the only time I'm able to. But I enjoy hanging out with my friends a lot more too. So that's about what happened at IFC 2021. It was a journey. I swear every time I go to IFC, stuff goes down and I always have a story to tell. But that's about it for this video. Thank you so much for watching if you watched all of this rambly, weird stuff that went down at IFC that in no way pertain to furries, I think. I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much for watching the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!